Welcome to Taiwan Report News Brief, news and analysis from Taiwan. I'm Donovan Smith. Up today on the program, the Taiwanese fishing fleet is again under pressure over abuse. The King of Hualien gets more jail sentences. Taichung's battle with Taipower takes another nasty turn. The KMT joins the call to abolish two branches of government. Johnny Chiang has finally gotten some love in the KMT for his proposal to remove the 1992 consensus from the party's cross-strait platform. And finally, the Milk Tea Alliance adds a new member. But first, some business updates. Foreign direct investment in Taiwan, approved by the government in the first 5 months of this year, totaled US $3.42 billion, an 11.95 increase from the same period last year. The Ministry of Economic Affairs said in a statement, quote, "This shows that despite the effects of trade tensions and technology disputes between the U.S. and China, as well as the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, foreign investors remain optimistic about Taiwan as a safe and trustworthy investment environment." Food and beverage vendors saw their sales rise by 29% to 61.9 billion NT in May, although the figure was 8.7% lower than the same month last year. The number of furloughed workers in Taiwan has hit a record high of 30,000, with the manufacturing sector accounting for more than 50% of those taking unpaid leave. The UK-based non-profit Environmental Justice Foundation said in a report released Wednesday that there is a prevalence of human rights abuses and illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing on 62 fishing vessels linked to Taiwan. Illegal shark finning was reported on half of the 62 vessels, which were either owned by Taiwanese or registered in Taiwan. On 14 of the boats, the crews reported intentional killing or illegal capture of protected marine mammals, including false killer whales and dolphins. On human rights issues, withholding of wages was reported on 92% of the boats, while other issues included excessive overtime and physical and verbal abuse. Meanwhile, the fisheries agency said prosecutors are looking into the case of an Indonesian fisherman who said he was locked in a freezer by his boat captain and subjected to electric shocks in punishment for minor mistakes. Now, a couple of years ago, I was involved in doing research for an article that was finally written by Nick Aspinwall, who has done some excellent work on this issue, by the way. I interviewed an Indonesian man who had been aboard a ship that had 2 deaths. One person had been swept overboard. Another had been beaten severely and wasn't given any medical treatment and later died of his wounds. The interview was filled with shocking descriptions of horrifying abuse, extreme overwork, the lack of even the most basic human care or safety precautions, and, of course, withheld pay. I can't even begin to describe how horrifying this interview was. I was shaken by it. Unfortunately, these cases come up again and again and again. This is not something that Taiwan should be a world leader in, but it is. It is true that it is hard to police this, but often the fishing crew will be picked up in another country and dropped off back there. But other nations do manage to manage their fishing fleets without these things happening, or happening far less than on Taiwanese boats. So it is possible. Now, I love Taiwan, but if I were asked to pick the absolute worst thing about Taiwan, this would be it. The Taiwan High Court on Wednesday ruled on 3 separate cases against independent legislator Fu Kunqi, handing out a combined sentence of 3 years and 10 months. Fu last month reported to Hualien prison to start serving a 2-year and 10-month sentence for insider trading and stock manipulation. 2 of the new cases were also stock manipulation, but the third was related to political manipulation. Fu was elected Hualien County Commissioner in 2009, when the court was about to rule on one of his stock manipulation cases. These are previous ones. He's had more, by the way. So he filed for divorce from his wife, Xu Jianwei. So Fu was able to name his wife as deputy commissioner to continue to head the county government on his behalf. Fu was found guilty of breaching the provisions of the Act on Recusal of Public Servants due to conflicts of interest, which prohibits granting a spouse or direct family member a job or contract. The court found the divorce fraudulent, of course. Guess who the current county commissioner is, however? His wife, Xu Jianwei. Characters like these two used to be very common in Taiwan. Thankfully, voters in most of the country have grown sick of it, but pockets of old-school politics still survive. The long-running struggle between state-owned power company Taipower and the Taichung city government is back on. Taipower has gone ahead and restarted its number 2 coal-fired unit at the Taichung power plant. Taichung Mayor Hualien then fired back with a 2 million NT fine. The city government said that the state-run utilities action contravened the Air Pollution Control Act and ordered it to shut the unit down. The company said it would consider contesting the fine. Taipower said the number 2 unit is operating within the law, citing the National Environmental Protection Administration's overturning of sanctions imposed by the Taichung Environmental Protection Bureau, which revoked the operating licenses for its generators. Mayor Liu and the KMT accuse Taipower and the DPP of using Taichung's residents' lungs as air pollution filters. Taipower says it needs the extra power in the summer when demand is high. The KMT has joined the call to abolish 2 branches of government. Like the New Power Party, they're calling for the examination and control yuans to be constitutionally removed. Interestingly, it used to be the DPP that was more for the idea and the KMT against it. It is unclear right now which way the DPP will jump on this, but apparently Legislative Speaker Yoshi Kun has stated on Facebook he is in support of the move. Basically, the examination yuan administers civil servants' exams, and the control yuan is supposed to conduct investigations into government misconduct. Now, I'm not sure why the examination yuan is a full branch of government, but in theory, the control yuan is a good idea. In theory. The problem is that it has almost always been highly partisan. Johnny Chiang has finally gotten some love in the KMT for his proposal to remove the 1992 consensus from the party's cross-strait platform. Several members of the KMT Reform Committee's Youth Participation Task Force yesterday voiced their support for recommendations made by the committee's cross-strait narrative task force and said they were not abandoning the 1992 consensus. By not abandoning, what they mean is to refer to it as a historical process that was once successful, but essentially to drop it going forward. Chiang has been getting a lot of attacks on his plan from inside the party, especially from party big shots. The Milk Tea Alliance has a new member, India. The original Milk Tea Alliance started when Chinese netizens launched an online war against a popular Thai actor who is in a show popular in China, and he liked a post that suggested Hong Kong is a country. Yep, that's all he did. Apparently, they still haven't forgiven him in spite of his apologizing the other day. Chinese Communist mouthpiece Global Times the other day ran an article with a headline, Chinese netizens refuse to forgive lead actor of Thai drama Together, the series, after he apologizes on social media. Thai netizens fought back against their Chinese counterparts and were soon joined by Hong Kong and Taiwanese netizens. This was named the Milk Tea Alliance because each country has a popular tea drink with milk added. In Taiwan, that is, of course, bubble milk tea. China is not known for its milk-induced or enhanced teas. Then, about a week ago, Chinese soldiers reportedly attacked, that they were the ones who attacked, at least according to the Indian side and U.S. intelligence, their Indian counterparts at Galwan, or the Galwan Valley in the Himalayas, leaving 20 Indians dead and reportedly 35 Chinese dead. This caused nationalist outrage in India, and their netizens went to war online with the Chinese. Well, I'm glad to see the alliance has grown. It has actually been a major headache for me. One of the Facebook groups I founded, Taiwan Daily News in English, started to be swamped with memes from Indians attacking China. The problem is that the group is for news item posts on Taiwan and not memes unrelated to Taiwan, though they're welcome in the comments. But something very interesting has happened. And it started roughly to become very visible even before this incident, about 1 or 2 months ago. In the last month or two, there's been a significant rise in articles and editorials from India in support of Taiwan. Now, I've linked to many of them on our website, report.tw. They mostly take three forms. Some advocate for closer ties with Taiwan, often with a strong emphasis on how Taiwan business strengths and India's are complementary and, unlike China, isn't a threat. Others advocate for India to be more proactive in supporting Taiwan in things like acceptance into the WHO. Most interesting is the surprising number calling for India to drop their one China policy. Usually the argument goes, since China doesn't recognize India's territorial integrity, why should India respect China's claims? Some have even added Tibet and East Turkestan, or aka Xinjiang, into the mix. If India were to make such a move, it would be a bombshell. And it would make other countries ask this basic question. Why are we supporting this one China fiction? As China has been acting increasingly aggressively, and many countries are growing increasingly fed up with appeasing China, this could simply be the first domino to fall if India were to actually follow through on this. Now, not every country would go for it, of course, but if a key group of nations did it, it would make quite a statement to to China as well, actually to Taiwan and China. So, be sure to check out our website. We've added 2 new sections, one on history, arts, and culture, and another section called Eye on China. Hope you find those interesting, and I hope you like the new layout. We're still tinkering with it, but it's starting to come together, I think. And of course, I post up a bunch of stuff that I don't cover in the reports and English source materials that also help with this English report. Of course, hit like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and tune in tomorrow.
This has been brought to you by the Taiwan Report. For more content like this, become our patron at report.tw.
哎呦，就是那个台湾狗啦，最喜欢我的台湾狗了。